So now we're going to head down downstairs, and we're going to really get into where the action is, which is the water itself. Because, like I said, the water is really central to this game, and it allows the experience to be different for each player, because it's a physics simulation. It's never the same twice. And so, for example, I could go into a room and you know, I might shoot out a couple of breaches, a couple of windows, and I might have knee-high water, but I'll be using the cover system. You might go in and a grenade might go off and blow out a whole wall panel. The whole room becomes flooded, and suddenly you're fighting underwater using underwater combat. So we've both had this completely different experience. And because the AI is a dynamic system, you've got a completely dynamic system in the water, and then another completely dynamic system with the AI. And they're reacting off one another, so you get incredible amounts of emergent gameplay as well. So here, Mark's just heading downstairs, and we're going to see the water itself. You can see already it's already starting to breach in because of all these explosions. And this door ahead, as soon as the door ahead is open, you're going to see the water actually pour out. It's actually going to flow out towards the camera. So here you can see the water flowing out, and as we go forward through the next door, it will flow forward with the character as well. So you see the water actually flowing out around her feet, and then it all bursts in. And all of this is pure physics, so all of these objects are getting carried by the flow. It's completely dynamic. You can actually get through this door at the end, but if you don't make it, there's an alternative. You go and find the emergency release. And the procedural animation allows us to seamlessly transition from wading, swimming. You know, it's all seamless. Which obviously, because you never know what height the water's going to be, where it's going to be, how it's going to affect things, it has to be responsive. And in this next section, we're going to go up towards, there's a character upstairs. You can just see him on the video screen here. This character needs rescuing, and the player can go and rescue this character. But if you fail to rescue him, if you don't make it in time, it's not a fail state. If you rescue him, certain collectibles become unlocked. So there's certain subplots that open up. If you don't rescue him, it's slightly different. And even hours later in the game, you're going to find that there's dialogue that's still changing depending on whether you rescued him or not. And we're not saying it's a big branching plot or anything. It's a linear plot, but there's a dynamic narrative to it. It's in a way there's a metaphor with the water there. You know, it's contained in a room, but it flows freely. This particular character, the security chief, has his own mission that he then goes off on, and ultimately you're going to find that your paths cross later anyway.
Side scan. I can use that to open the door. Chief.
So this character is he's the chief of security, Chief Billingham. Kate and her boss Scoot, they're systems engineers. So like I said earlier, their job is to really look for people that are trying to smuggle people onto the ship, hack the systems, and they tell the chief of security about these people, and he goes and arrests them. But there's no love lost between Scoot, who's Kate's boss, and Billingham. They don't like each other very much. There's some pretty cool conflict that goes on there. Some pretty funny lines actually that go on between those two. As you can see, obviously we've got a full climbing system as well. So not only have we got climbing, swimming, we've got a full cover system, we've got a full stealth, underwater combat, the Mavi device, you get all sorts of upgrades for that, where you can see information about the environment. You can actually see where there's water behind doors, and then you can remotely open those doors, which is actually the key to saving this character. You can even hack into CCTV networks and kind of look around the environment and look ahead and see what's coming using your Mavi. You can use it to see where bad guys are behind walls. These are all upgrades that you get on the Mavi. So at this point, Mark's got an audio log here. So by getting an audio log, which is just playing back one of the chief's normal everyday sort of logs about the goings on in the ship, but he can use it to actually unlock certain areas in this security hub. So again, you can see the dynamic smoke effects here. There's a climb point to get around this fire. Beautiful heat haze effects as well. got to be careful of that jet of fire. There we go. But you can see some of the really beautiful effects that we're pushing in this engine. Even though it's it's procedural and we're getting the file size right down, there's absolutely no compromise on quality. This is a AAA quality. And you can see again constantly the ship's sinking effectively. So the water pressure is constantly building. So down here at the moment you've got kind of ankle high water. When you come back down a bit later, it's going to be filling more and more and more. So it's constantly changing. Here, this is one of the Malthusians here. So at this point, our character, she's not equipped to deal with these guys. She's not equipped to take him on. So her colleague here is just saying, look, just wait it out, hold on, wait till he's gone. Right, okay, it's safe now. And so you can sneak out and make sure you're not hurt. Pretty soon she's gonna find herself having to take these guys on. She's gonna have a weapon, be using the cover system, and there's some really cool stuff in the combat, such as using oil fires. So a lot of games have the old cliche of oil barrels, right? But we've turned it on its head a bit and said, right, if there's an oil barrel next to a window that's got water behind it or a weakened wall, you shoot that barrel, it blows up the wall, water pours out, and it carries the actual oil fire into your enemies. They set on fire, and because they're Malthusians, of course, they believe in taking down as many people as they can with them. Some of them will actually come running at you while they're on fire, so you have to quickly get your gun out and try and take them down before they do that. So there's some pretty awesome stuff with the combat. We also use obviously electricity and water. You can shoot out cables that are dangling above. They proper physics systems as well. They'll swing down, electrify the water, and then if you need to get into the water to unelectrify it again, you have to shoot the cable again and cut it off. We're always using real physics in this game. Even the electricity itself, it will reach out for conductive surfaces, including water, including people. So it's not just a set effect that looks the same every time. It actually reaches out for things. The release date's not been finalised yet, but it will be out this year, sooner rather than later, we hope. We're hoping before fall, but it's not finalised just yet. And it is an XBLA game, but it's like I said, it's the scope of a full retail game. So on price, again, not finalised, but we'll be looking at the upper range of XBLA pricing structure, but that's still significantly less than you'd pay for the equivalent at retail, right? So this is a full length game. You're going to have between 7 and 10 hours gameplay, depending on how you play it, what collectibles you unlock, whether you explore everything, and massive replayability. We've got leaderboards as well, being XBLA. So the game's broken down into 3 acts. And at the end of each act, you've got a monthly leaderboard and a weekly leaderboard, and at the end of the game as well. So every time you collect something, every different way of killing someone, our little scenario where I went in with knee-deep water and you went in and did underwater combat is going to get us different points awarded. Lots of replayability, and it'll be out later this year.
Okay.